Hey, Miterbump. This is Flat Chances acrylic tokens. I actually have these up for sale on the Game Crafter for purchase, and I just wanted to show you different things and show you how to basically give you a small tutorial on what's going on with these things and how to use these novel dice for your gaming pleasure. When you go onto the Game Crafter and you purchase one of them, you'll get it in the acrylic printout tokens sheet. And this is how it comes in the mail. As you can see, it's printed on both sides of the acrylic sheet, and you can just snap them out with ease. I didn't make a case for them so that way I can keep these as cheap as possible. And I'm using the corner to snap out these smaller pieces that are supposed to be the slots to help display the tokens. Now you want to be careful not to try to avoid snapping the edges. You want to go for the furthest edge. So you'll see where the little nicks are that holds these pieces together. You want to go for the furthest part. So that way they can all snap out. And they stand. Oh, looks like I forgot one. And you can shave these little pointy bits off when you get a chance to clean them. But this is just for display. Your tokens, your novelty dice, when you're not using them. Now, how to use them, you can use them as is, because on each dice, each token is either a tails or a heads side. Or you can use just a regular coin to roll the dice, and these are just the maps that you're going to use for how you're going to navigate each heads or tails to get to your desired area. These 3 tokens are actually a full set of dice. As you can see, there's a D4, a D8, a D10, a D20, a D6, a D12. There's an ABC dice, a navigation dice, and this is the all-in-one dice. As you can see that I matched each where the dice is on this all-in-one. So you're getting 2 sets of dice with every purchase. You get 2 sets of dice, and you can see that each color represents their coordinating tokens and can be used on their own. As you can see, this one is different from the other dice because, let's see, this one, the lone tokens are mixed up, so that way the the number of flips is different on this dice as it would be on this dice from how this pink version of it, this D8, would be change how you roll depending on which dice you use, even though you would be using the same token or roll the same heads or tails in a series. On each face, you'll want to start from this center out. So when you flip a coin, so heads, tails. And because this is I'm going for a D20, I want to flip 5 times. And on here, I have little numbers on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on all of them. So that way it will give you a nice indicator of where, how many flips you're supposed to take. So the number of flips can correspond with each dice. So with one flip, you would have a D2. 2 flips would be a D4 or a D. Compass. 3 flips would be a D6, a D8, and a D compass, because not only do I have the basic north, south, east, west, but I also have the northeast, southeast, southwest, northwest indicators on here. So that way you can use just basic coordinations for a compass or for different choices. 4 flips does a D12, a D10, a D12. And 5 flips with 5 coins, or one coin with 5 flips, would be a D20 or the alphabet version. And you would be able to use this for all of them if you wanted. And I'll show you how to. I'll tell you how to deal with different situations you can use with these dice. You can also use this as a coin itself for making choices. If you want to lay this on the table and basically use this as a token to flip. This also comes with a little indicator to show if you want to use this as a counter. Let's see, D10. So that way you can use that as a counter and a stand. The all-in-one is actually a little bit bigger than the other ones, so that way when you're reaching into a bag, you can tell the difference of which coins are which. The different uses for these is not only for the emergency dice, so you can have this one token with you. So that way, if you're in a situation where you can have an emergency or going to like friends and they suddenly want to play with a role-playing game or have some dice choices, you can have this with you into like your bag or your wallet, and then have an emergency set of dice all in one. And there's no moving parts. The only moving part is odds. to be able to read this, you flip either one of the other dice or a coin to get the number of flips that you want. So let's say that I want to roll a d20. I would have to roll 5 times. So the first one is a tails. The second one is a heads. Yep. You disappeared. Third one is a heads. Fourth one is a tails. And the fifth one is a heads. So tails, heads, heads, tails, heads. Reading that, you go from the center out. So tails, which is a cyan or blue. Heads. Heads. Tails. And then heads again, which means that I rolled an 8. And to show that it does have a different changes on which dice you use. On the D20, that's mixed up. Tails, heads, heads, tails, heads, which would be a 17. Now, not only are these emergency dice, but you can use them as theme dice for like westerns or different odds. Like if it's some type of world or theme where the choices are usually binary, you can have this as a way to enforce that the person or world building theme is either on the flip of a coin. It's also a nice status dice, so that way, let's say that you're usually playing with a lot of other dice, and you want to change up the status effect of it. You basically use this in place of a different set of dice, so it has the same mechanics as either having a D8 or a D12 or a D10, and then you add an additional effect for the player to push through it. So it's like kind of like mentality dice, like how with not neurodivergence and neurotypicals, things come easier. Or if, let's say, if you're learning, you would have to use these the tokens instead of the regular dice, and the regular dice are just when you're more familiar with the actions or with the spells. Another fact of this is that way you can have your players be these hidden dice. So you have your players flip a coin a number of times. You tell them, and behind your DM screen, you have one of these dice that rolls for you. So that way they're flipping a coin, not knowing what the sequence is, but you are having them make choices that they cannot perceive unless they actually bought one of these. But you can change these dice with the simple fact that you can change the position by associating the different locations with different representations, still giving the same amount of odds, which it is kind of odd for a lot of people that a dice can still have produce a 6, even though a 6 would be 1 out of 8 chances of rolling, much like how anything above a 17 would still have a 1 out of 32 chance of rolling. And that's because of how bifurcation works with this. See, on a typical 3 flips of a coin, you would have 1 out of 8 chances. But since I'm bifurcating, basically eliminating some of the splits into associating with the same number, I am basically lowering the number, which the target goal is, but I'm bifurcating what are the odds for that goal is. So I can have a 5, but there's a 1 out of 8 chances to get a 5. And that, besides having the hidden dice, you can also have a collective party dice. Basically, everyone at the table does a flip, and that accumulates based upon initiative or seat placement or whatever to the choices that are given on the tokens. And this is something I made. I have this up on Game Crafter. I'm running a sale going to be soon, a crowd sale, which helps every stage of purchases, helps lower the cost for everyone who's going to purchase the dice. And I wanted to give us a small video explaining what the flat chances dice are and the uses, because this is my attempt at marketing something that I think of in my bored time. I also have a different version of this called the Flat Chances Mat, which operates on the same principle. You use a coin or a D2 to track how many flips or they have, so either heads or tails, and it gives you different outcomes for each dice. On the flat chances mat, I have all of them, which is D4, D6, D8, D10, D12, D20, and a D100. So that way you can, the D100 takes about 7 flips of a coin to get to the choices. But I also have this up on the crowd sale associated with the tokens. And when I get a chance, I will be making a card set, which also gives more variety on the dice by not only having the typical all-in-one card, but also having the other sets of dice too, because of bifurcation, I can make any denomination of dice. I even explored on how to make different programs and different dice modifiers, so that way if this when I have the cards up, I will have like different modifier cards that will be as collectors for different how to choose coins and how they affect the rolls and how affect the programs on these decision trees. I hope this gives you some thoughts on usage, and hope you enjoy something I made.